Good afternoon. Welcome. Today is Sunday, May the 16th. And I just want to stop and take a moment to welcome you to today's demonstration. Just opening back up the wheel. Anyway, gonna wait for, see a couple of people just popped on. When you come on, say hello. And I'll go ahead and get started. Hi Landa, good afternoon. Hi Jackie, welcome everyone. Earlier today it was raining here in San Antonio, and then the sun just came out. Hi Cindy. And then now it's back to gloomy. So we've got some weather. Hey Gina, Aunt Gina. We've got some weather here in San Antonio that can't seem to make up its mind. But then again, that's most of Texas most of the time. So hi Cindy. Welcome everyone. I'll go ahead and get started. If you're watching me for the first time, welcome. My name is Barbara Ragsdale and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in the San Antonio, Texas area. And I am live every Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hey Terry, glad I saw you. Come on. Terry's from Colorado. Ooh, what's the weather like over there? Tell me. But anyway, if you are watching me for the first time, welcome. And if you're watching me live, you might see a live on one of these top corners. I don't know, sometimes I'm directionally challenged, but you'll see a live button in one of the top left or right hand corners. If you don't see that, you're probably watching me on the replay on Facebook, or you might be watching me on YouTube. And if you're watching me from YouTube, thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I hope that you all get some inspiration today. If you're also watching for the first time and you're not familiar with Stampin' Up!, we're a paper crafting company. So we are here to show you how to use the products and how to get inspiration, because there's nothing more frustrating than buying something and you don't know how to use it. So I'm here to show you what you can do with the products. And we cater to all levels of crafters. So I love beginners, I love the intermediates, and I love doing some advanced things. And I would think that today is probably between the intermediate to advanced. So what I'm going to be showing you. I did something like this back, I guess this past Christmas season. But I want to do it again. I want to do it again because some of you might not have seen that video that I did several months ago, and I wanted to be able to use one of the current suites in order to show you how you can do something really cool. You can get a twofer. I'm going to call this a twofer. So you can not only make your handmade card, but you can also do something else with it. So let's go ahead and get started. If I keep looking that way, the squirrel, remember the squirrel that, I don't even know if it's the same squirrel, but anyway, I have squirrel moments, and that squirrel does not help because all I see is him coming out of the corner of my eye. So I think he knows I'm live, and he's trying to get an appearance on here. But let's go ahead and get started. I've got the wheel ready. I've got my prizes ready. Let me go back. I think I missed a comment. Terry, that's what ours is doing here. It can't seem to make up its mind what it wants to do, be sunny or rain. But and then it's humid. That's part of the issue too. Oh, thank you, Terry. Thank you. And Cindy's son lives in Dallas. This is a small world, you guys. But anyway, thank you for joining. And let's go ahead and flip this around so we can get started. Just remind you what you're looking at here, especially if you're first time, trying to get this straight for you, but also where I can see the comments. This is my website, and this is this month's host code. And if you're not familiar with host codes, every single month I have a different online ordering special. And in the month of May, when you place an order of $25 or more directly from my website, you're going to get a free cut kit in order to make these 4 cards for the month. And ladies, these are all masculine cards. This one right here is a gift card holder. I took the gift card out so that I wouldn't forget that it was in here, but a little gift card will slide into that one. So that's a gift card holder. But you're gonna get a free cut kit in order to make all 4 of these cards. And let me just show you what the kits look like. This is how it will arrive in the mail. You've got your bases, and in each envelope you've got everything that you need in order to assemble that card. You'll also get a full color tutorial that shows you all the measurements and how to put it together. And there's also a link to the video I did at the beginning of the month if you need something visual to go by. I don't do any stamping. We can't do any stamping for you, so you will have to own some masculine sets. The one that I used was well suited. So if you like those sentiments, that's the stamp set that you'll have to get, and then your inks, whatever. But everything else is already cut, die cut for you. There's even the twine that you need in one of the cards. I don't know which one it is. But anyway, that's your free cut kit for the month of May. And then in June, it'll be a completely different kit. So if you don't want to fool with going to my website and plugging in that code, you can also scan in the QR code, and there'll be a link in the description once the video is over. Okay, and just a reminder, when you join my email list, you'll get a free PDF tutorial, and you'll also get, I'm just opening it back to the beginning here, a complimentary copy of our new annual catalog. So, and if you don't already have a demonstrator you get a catalog from, and you still join my email list, I have a different special gift for you, and also active demonstrators as well. I had this open because we're going to be using hand pen today. I really love this. I love the designer series paper. I love everything about that suite. So I know I've used it a few times, but I am going to show you something different that you can do. And then right now, if you host a little get-together or social get-together, whether it's in person or it's virtually, Stampin' Up! Has a current special that's called Connect, Craft, and Collect, and that just simply means that when your order total, whether it's a host total or an individual order, starts out at least $250, you're going to get your usual 10% Stampin' Rewards, but Stampin' Up! Is going to be offering an additional $25 on top of that. And you can see your rewards grow the more your order total is. And then beginning at $450, you start to earn half price items. And so this special started May 4th and goes all the way to June 14th. So if you're interested in gathering with a few friends and putting some cards together or working on a project, you might want to take advantage of this. But like I said, this expires June 14th. So we still have some time to schedule something. And then in June, the June paper pumpkin kit is called Make a Splash. Actually, it's called Expressions in Color. Sorry, I think I said that wrong on the last video too, but it's called Expressions in Color. Look at that box. Next month's kit's going to be a collectible box. But next month's kit also contains enough supplies to create 9 cards and coordinating envelopes. And if you're not familiar with paper pumpkin and you're like, what in the world is this lady talking about? Paper pumpkin. These are our boxes that get delivered to our door every single, or wherever you get your mail, every single month. And it's a monthly paper crafting subscription kit. This just happens to be April's kit. I think they just shipped out May's to us, which was the batter up. But with our paper pumpkin kits, you get all the supplies that you need in order to put those particular projects together. Every kit has a exclusive stamp set and anything that you need. It also will contain an ink spot, dimensionals. Everything is pretty much die cut for you. This particular kit had coordinating envelopes. Everything that you need in order to assemble these projects is in here. Let me just show you a picture. That was the So Cool one. And then it's also going to have directions in the inside. And then there's even a little ruler down here at the bottom to help you if you needed help with measuring out some of your ribbon or twine or whatever came with it. But that is what a paper pumpkin kit looks like. And every single month it does change. So next month is going to be Expressions in Color, which coordinates with the Expressions in Ink suite. And I don't know that I've done any cards with that. But anyway, it's going to come in a collectible box, and I have a feeling that this is going to sell out. The subscription period started May 11th and goes all the way to June 10th. So if you're interested in starting a Paper Pumpkin subscription, which you can do a one-time purchase, you can do a month-to-month, you can do a 3-month prepaid, 6-month prepaid, and an annual prepaid. But you have until the 10th in order to register. And my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, I'm just going to fan this cardstock out. Every single month we'll get a coordinating cuts. We'll get coordinating cuts of cardstock that go with the kits so that they can have alternative projects or just simply use this cardstock for other projects they may have. And only my Paper Pumpkin subscribers get that. This month there was only 4 colors, but sometimes there's usually more. But you have until June 10th to subscribe, and the link will be in the description after the video is over. And then the last little special is beginning May 4th all the way through the end of this month. When you purchase your own kit, you can choose $155 in product for only $99 plus tax. Normally, the normal kit special is only $125, but through the end of this month, they're offering an additional $30 in product. And get this, you get to choose whatever you want in your kit. Not what somebody else thinks you need, but what you want. And so there's also no obligation. So if you're looking for a perfect way to get a discount on your paper crafting supplies, purchase your kit and you will get a discount, a 20% discount on all your purchases through at least October with absolutely no obligation. You don't have to do this as a business. You don't have to be live. You don't have to do parties. You can simply enjoy the discount all by your lonely self. But it really is a great deal, you guys. So if you have some big ticket items, you can add that to your kit. But this offer does end May 31st. So the link will also be in the description when we are done. And now for the drawing. Last week's was a pre-recorded video because I was on the retreat. So in order to get on the wheel, when you like, comment, and share my videos, you get entered on the wheel. And when you share, you get entered twice. So that not only helps me, but it helps spread the word and gets to be able to show more people every single week what you can do with your Stampin' Up! Products. So what I'm going to do for the drawing, y'all remember I did the ombre gift bags? I chose these 2 bags to do for the drawing. I don't know. They just seem to be the prettiest the prettiest ones that I did, in my opinion. Y'all are probably like, they were all pretty, but for me, I'm like, I'll just pick these 2 bags. It'll be something easy and simple to mail. Hi, Lisa. Let me go back and see what I might have missed. Didn't miss much. So let's spin this wheel. See who wins. Good luck to whoever's on the wheel. Ooh, I was like, I thought it was going to stop on Corrine. Veronica Johnson. I don't know, Veronica, I don't think you're watching right now, but I have your address. Veronica actually is on my team. So I will get these to you, Veronica. It won't come, I'm going to take that out. That way it'll mail. They'll mail a little flatter. But these were using the ombre gift bags that we have. And there's 3 other colors. This one is soft succulent, and this one was pale papaya. But just some ideas on what you can do with our ombre gift bags. Okay, so let me put this off to the side. Y'all want to see what we're going to do today? So the paper that we're going to be using is the hand pinned paper, designer series paper. These are just 6x6 cuts, but I wanted to fan out and show you this beautiful paper. All these subtle colors with a little sprinkle of some toned down brights. But this is one side of each design. The paper actually comes 12 by 12, and then the opposite side has these coordinating subtle colors. Ooh, ah, pretty. So I wanted to use this paper, and then I also wanted to use, we're going to use hand pen petals, and then there's also coordinating dies that go with it. So that's what we're going to be using, and then we're also going to complement what we're doing today with the scalloped contour dies. I love, these are my new favorite, it's my new favorite set of square dies. And then we're also going to be using the rectangle stitched framelits because there's so many to choose from. So that's what we're going to be using. And let me show you the first of what we're going to be doing. I don't know if y'all can see this, but do y'all see that shine? Can anybody guess what this might be? It just sits up, just a regular card. It looks like a regular card, but it's not. Landa, you might know what I'm doing today, but don't say anything, Landa. This actually is, it looks like a regular card, you guys, but today I'm going to be showing you how you can take our handmade cards and making them into a photo card. So you can slide a photo in there. I don't have a photo to slide in there. I've got a sheet of paper somewhere around here. But it's a photo card. So if you're going to be sending someone a handmade card, I know we usually send photos in the mail right around Christmas time. And so this gives you an idea. So even close to Christmas time, if you send Christmas cards out and you want to include a photo, your Christmas card photo, but this one is just, you know, we're spring right now, summer, so any kind of photo you have that you want to send out, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing two kinds, and each one of them is almost the same, but slightly different, just slightly different. Okay, so what we have here is we have a pool party base, and we are just going to fold this in half. Get my bone folder. There we go. Let's fold our base in half. And then I have a piece of basic white that's just a standard piece. And this particular piece, I'm gonna make sure I'm putting adhesive on the right side. I was feeling the edges because when you cut our cardstock paper through the paper trimmer, it pushes the paper down. So when you attach your cardstock to your card, you want to make sure you're putting it on the rough side so that the smooth side shows from the front. Okay. Now, if you were doing this card and you had something that you wanted to put on the inside, I would recommend stamping before you put it down, just in case you mess up. You don't want to mess up your card base. But this is going to be a landscape card. And then what we're going to do next is we're actually going to make our frame. And this piece of paper measures exactly the front. I thought I had my little piece of paper here, but basically, let me just measure it real quick. It is 5.5 by 4.25. So I have a piece of designer series paper, and I also have the same size in Misty Moonlight cardstock. And I chose Misty Moonlight because it's got a little Misty Moonlight in the designer series paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this particular size of the rectangle stitch die, and you want to line up your cardstock. You have a couple of options. If you have a, I don't know, if you have a, what's the word I'm trying to say? Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Line up your paper, line up your designer series paper and your cardstock, and then you want to put your die over it. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you have a steady hand and things don't move quite easy, you know, move around in your hands, but you want to line it up and get it, you want to get it square. That way you've got a good, what is that, 3/4 inch? I don't know. Line it up best way you can. If you need to break a ruler out, break a ruler out. But what we're going to be doing is running this through. I'm going to have to get the big one. I thought this was small enough for the small one, but we're going to break out our big die cutting machine. And then we're going to die cut this really quick. Let me get the right sandwich down. 1, 2, 3. Let me bring this up a little bit. We're going to put that on there. You also have the option of gluing it right around the edge to help hold it in place if you wanted to do that. And then we've got our top plate. And then we're going to run it through. Oh. Okay, we're going to run it through. There we go. There we go. My handle was sticking. I know that sounded bad, but that's what it'll do. It may sound like it's cracking as it goes through, but it's not. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take this die off, and it would have created a frame. There we go. Now we have a frame that is designer series paper and cardstock, and I will tell you, you have two very usable pieces right here, and both of these have a stitched edge to them. So don't throw these away. You can use these for another, whatever you might be doing. Okay, so now you have a frame, and what we're going to do is we're going to use Tombow glue. I would recommend using Tombow glue. The first time I did it, I used Seal, and if you don't line it up directly, it's going to go on crooked, and then you're not going to be able to take it off. But when you use Tombow glue, it gives you a little wiggle room. I wouldn't use too much. That way it doesn't come out the sides. And then if you're worried about getting glue on your surface, you can use your silicone mat because the glue's not going to stick to that. And then just line it back up. So that's why I was saying earlier, oops, maybe it's upside down. That's why I was saying earlier, if you want to put glue on it first and then die cut it to help those pieces stay together, you might want to do that. But it works both ways. So now we have our frame. And then now what we want to do is we want to put our window sheet on. So we do sell window sheets, and we're going to flip this over. See if I can adjust that a little more. No, that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put glue dots. Let me get some glue dots on each one of these corners. And this is going to help hold the window sheet in place, because you want it to be in place. You don't want it to be able to move around. You can do all four corners, and if you really, really need to, you can also do like the sides. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you put them as close to the edge as you can. It's just easier for me to work with smaller little strips of glue dots here, because you don't want your photo to be catching on, and you definitely don't want it to fall out. So you want to create a pretty good seal, and then take your window sheet and then just cover up this opening. I want to say this is 1/4 inch bigger than the opening. That way you don't see, you know, it's got a good clean edge to it. Okay, now for this one, what we're going to be doing, this particular one was raised, so we're going to be using dimensionals, and we're going to use small ones. We want to use small ones because the more, and then we're also going to be doing, let me make sure I turn this the right way. Keep in mind the direction of your designer series paper too when you go to put it on. But we want to put it on with dimensionals, and I'm going to go this way. Okay, so when you put your dimensionals on, put them as close to the edge as you can. That way you have plenty of room for your picture. If they're not all the way to the edge and one's too far out, it's going to catch on your picture if your picture fits in there pretty snug. So I'm just lining these up as close as I can to the edge. And if you're worried about the white showing too, you can also use black. You can use the black ones. I just have white because that's what I have right here. And I'm using the small ones just because it will allow more room for the picture instead of using the large ones. And I'll show you, oops, these little dimensionals have this backing on them. I think I got them all. Yeah, I think I got them all. But the large ones, let me just show you a comparison. You can see the large ones take up more space. Okay, so now you're going to put this directly on, making sure it's in the right direction. And there we go. Just give it just a little pressure. This is going to be side loading, so that's why I left this side open so that we could slide a picture in. Okay, now I am looking for my, and I'm going to use that. Well, I could have swore I had another piece of, we'll just use this one. I'm probably going to have to cut for another one, but we're going to stamp this particular image in Memento Black. I have a feeling this is meant for something else. And it's already cut to size. And I'm like, what am I missing here? We're just going to go with it. I'm going to go ahead and use it. I don't know what this piece is for, but we're going to use it. Okay, so now we have a nice little stamped image there. And then we're going to be stamping all of the colors that we have here. So we're going to start out with Misty Moonlight. And let me bring this over because I'm going to be stamping off. I want these colors to be lighter than normal. So we're going to use Misty Moonlight, stamp off, and then this one coordinates with that image right there. And then we have the smaller ones. These two little flowers, we're going to stamp those off, and those coordinate with these two flowers right here. They don't line up exact. They're not supposed to line up exact. Okay, so now we're done with Misty Moonlight. And then now we're going to use Pool Party. We have such fun color names. And then let me make sure this is clean. We're going to use this image in Full Strength Pool Party for that one. And then this one, the smaller one, it lines up with this one. Okay, and now we're done with Pool Party, and we're going to be doing the leaves. I decided to use mint macaron for the leaves, only because garden green was way too green, and I'm just cleaning my stamp. Let me make sure. Yeah, I didn't stamp it off. I wanted to make sure I didn't stamp it off. In this stamp set, there's actually two leaf images, and try to light it up somewhat. On mine, somehow I've managed to lose the small leaf image. I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone. I can't find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to ink up part of the large image and go over these little images. Because it doesn't line up like exactly, that's why I'm not worried about it not catching all of. Or you could also use your blends as well. Okay, so I'm just kind of making my own little stamp. So there we go. Okay, so now we're done with mint macaron. Get that out of the way. And then the middle parts, what I did was I used the dark Daffodil Delight, and we're just going to color, so get that open, we're just going to color these little centers just to give it a little pop of some color. Just a little. We're going to be covering up some of those with some genial gems. Okay, and then this is where I'm going to use the little mini embossing and die cut machine, and we're going to cut this out. Okay, so let's line up our dies. Which way does it go? Wrong die. That's the wrong die. Not the right die. That's the wrong die. Let's get the right one. Thought I had the right one pulled out. We want this one. There we go. The other one I had was for the second card. Okay, so just line that up. If you're worried about it moving, you can put some washi tape down. And then we're just going to run that through. I love this little machine. This is something you could add to a kit too. This little machine is $60 and so portable and so cute and lightweight. I like things that are lightweight. Okay, so now we're going to be using some of our new open weave ribbon in Soft Succulent, and I'm going to be cutting a couple of 4-inch pieces. I don't have a ruler on my grid paper, so we're just going to do this. Let me get my glue dots back out, and we're going to fold the ribbon, and then I'm going to put a glue dot on the front and on the back of where those two pieces come together. And then for this, I'm going to put it right here. And then as far as my ribbon, I'm going to trim it a little. Let me trim that other one a little bit more. Get that more pointy. Okay, so now we have a piece there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Glue dot there. Glue dot on that side. And then we're going to, there. Trim your tails, give it a nice little decorative edge there. And then we're going to put large dimensionals on the back, and this is going to help hold it down to the card. Get one over here. Doesn't really matter where they go on the back, because you can't see, you know, on here you can't see from the inside, so we're not going to worry about where we put them. And then, but you do want to make sure that the edges don't come off of your card, the edge of your card, so that it fits in your envelope. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is we are going to put a couple of, oops, I thought this was open, a couple of genial gems, which coordinates with the suite. It is part of the suite, by the way. See if I can get this out. Yep, there we go. Let's take a couple of genial gems. Let's take these large ones. A little bit of that color is going to show through. We're only going to use 2 on the large flowers. Okay, and then we also have, we're going to dress this up a little bit with some Wink Stella, which is glitter and a brush. That's all it is. We're going to give this a little shine on these flowers. Just on the flowers. So if you like putting glitter on things, it has a little piece here that says push. So I'm giving it just a little squeeze, and that brush will put that glitter wherever you want it and however much you want. So if you want more, just keep applying more. Okay, and then let me show you. I'm going to pull the sheet out from the other card. Okay, so there's your card, and then if this was your picture, say it was a landscape picture, you would just slide it in to the side, and then your picture would just slide in. And then there would be your photo. So your photo, and then whatever you wanted to do on the inside. So there you have it. There's one card with using a landscape photo. So I'm going to take this out because this piece was in the other card. What do you think? You like it? Hi, Corrine. You go back and look at the comments. Thank you for sharing, Corrine. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Frida. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Stella. So anyway, there's the first card, the first picture card. So let me move some of this out of the way, and let me show you what the second card is. Let me just show you the card. Here is card number 2 using portrait, and you can see the shine there with the window sheet, and then your picture for your portrait one will actually slide in from the top. So let me just show you, once you slide your picture in, you know, it'll help fill in, you know, there. But this one's done a little bit differently because there's the only dimension that you see is the flower and the frame. So let's get started on that one. And then let me hope that that piece of paper that I used wasn't intended for this particular card. And I won't know it till I get to that particular section. So we have a cinnamon cider base. Get out of the way. So we have our cinnamon cider base. And then there is supposed to be a white piece on the inside, but I don't think that piece I used was large enough. So there'll be a white insert on the inside. But basically, same thing. We've got our piece here, and then we are using a different stitched rectangle die. We're going to be using, I think that was the next size. Yeah, it's the next size down from the one that I used on the first card, because we want our designer series paper to be a little more thick around the edge. Okay, so we're going to die cut this one really quick. Get that there. Same process, just line it up, get it centered. For this particular one, if it's not completely centered, I mean, you don't want it to be like crazy crooked or anything like that, but if it happens to be a little off, it's okay, because we're going to be doing a border. We're going to be doing a border that will cover up any minor imperfections with this particular one, okay? Get that there. Okay, same thing. We're just creating a rough opening, and then don't forget, you have 2 very usable pieces of designer series paper and cardstock to use. I dropped something. And then we're going to put all-purpose glue. Now you guys can see why in the beginning I was like, if you want to go ahead and glue around the edge, but I would be careful doing that, because if you get too much into the center, you don't want to gum up your dies with glue, if that makes sense. You don't want to risk that. That could get messy. But I love this particular piece of designer series paper. just because it has that garden green, and it still has cinnamon cider, pool party. Okay, so now we have our frame, and then we want to put our glue dots on so we can put our window sheet on. And don't forget to like, comment, and share, because next week these will be the prizes for next week. So if you want to have a chance at winning these, that's how you get on the wheel. And commenting. But I love it when you guys share my videos. I really do. And I really appreciate you taking some time in your Sunday afternoon to join me. I'm going to do one more at the top, just because I want to make sure my window sheet does not go anywhere. Okay. Same thing, you want to make sure your window sheet covers that rough opening on the back. And then you also want to make sure that nothing is coming outside that window sheet. That way your picture doesn't stick. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so now you have the front part. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to create the frame. So this frame that's on top, I went ahead and die cut this particular contour scalloped die cut. But we're going to be taking the next size frame down from this one that we used to cut this rough opening, and we're going to be making a smaller frame for this one. Okay, so for that one we are going to use, I'm going to bring back the mini machine because this is easy enough to go through. Get that piece off there. This is easy enough to go through here. And you do want to try to get that one as close to straight as possible. Put your frame down. Try to get that. Okay, nobody breathe. It's straight. Okay, and let's run that through. And it's going to stitch die cut out the center of this scalloped contour die. Let me get that on there. Okay, and then pop this out, and then now we're going to have another frame, and then pop this out too, because you're going to have a very usable stitched piece of basic white that's already cut out for you there. Okay, now on this frame we're going to be attaching the frame. Let's go ahead and attach this to our base. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're going to attach this directly to the cardstock base with glue. Okay, that way this can start to set, and then I'll put the frame on top. But this one is going to be opening from the top. Let me make sure I'm putting glue on the right side. Okay, so we're going to be doing a U of glue, and you want to start up here, and you want to try to keep it as close to the edge as possible. That way you have plenty of room for your picture to slide in. Okay, but you don't want so much glue that it's going to be, you know, coming out the edge. Okay, oops. Kind of went outside my own line there. Okay, and make sure you get it all the way around. Put some more back in there. That way you get a good seal against your card base. Take some of that out. There we go. Okay, and then now we have this. And let's put this on. So we're going to put this directly on our card base. Okay, and you can see using glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and then just press it down along the edge. you need to move it, you can move it a little bit, get it into place. And it eventually will stick when all of that glue dries underneath there. Okay, and then now we have our frame, and we're going to put our frame up with some large dimensionals. So we're going to put one in each corner. And then I'm going to use some small ones just to help stabilize the in between the big ones. There we go. And then just peel all these little backings off. Get them all off. And then we're going to stick this onto our card. I think I got them all. No, one more. There we go. And this is actually going to frame the inside of this stitched frame here. Okay. And this is why I was telling you, if your frame is a little crooked, you can adjust this to where it looks like it's straight. Okay, so just in case. Anyway, this is going to cover the opening. And because it's on dimensionals, it's popped up a little bit. Now I know what that piece of paper was for. It's for the flower. I was like, I knew I was using something I shouldn't have used. Okay, so let's do this. Going to cut a piece of paper that I need to use. Let's see, what is that? What is that? I'm just going to cut a 3-inch strip. We're going to go with 3 inches. That's what that was used for, you guys. Now let's do our flower. We're almost done. We're getting there. So we have this particular flower image. We're going to stamp this one in Memento ink. Get some pressure. Okay. And then we're going to do the top part of the flower in cinnamon cider. And then we're also going to be stamping off on that as well, because we don't want full strength cinnamon cider. So ink that up, stamp it off, and then because it's photopolymer, you can see exactly where you're going to be stamping, which is cool. And then let me close that up, because now we're going to use Pool Party to do this side flower. There's Pool Party. And then we're going to be using Garden Green for our leaf. Let me clean my stamp. And then we're going to be using Full Strength Garden Green. Now remember, my small leafy image is missing. It's MIA, so we're going to be inking up. Let me clean this. We're going to be inking up just up into the corner. I'm going to get a little bit more. And then the other one up here. There we go. Perfect. We're going to make it work. And then guess what? We're going to die cut it out. So we're going to break this little baby back, put our flower in there, our die cut, line it up, and then I'm going to show you how you can, with this particular die cut, you can give it just a little bit more dimension after it's die cut. Okay, so let's run that through. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the ribbon on the other card. I'm looking at this card like something was missing. Okay, so then just pop that out. Okay, now on this, I want to give it just a little bit of flair. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch the little edges there, kind of pinch them forward a little bit, the edges of the flowers. and then even the leaves. Because what I want is I want those to pop up just a little bit. I don't want them to lay completely flat. Okay, so if you just pinch it a little bit, curl it, you can use your fingers, that way you get good feel. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back. So we're going to put one there, put one there. Let me just peel those off after I take them off. And we're going to stick one right there, and I'm going to use a small one down here. That's where those mini dimensionals come in super handy, when you have a little small area. Okay, and then we're going to put that on our card. Going to go in like that. Let's Wink-A Stella this up. Just brush your glitter on, however much you want. It does give it a nice little pretty clean shine to it when you use Wink-A Stella. Okay, and on this one we're going to use, let's use this one. We'll use this one. We're just going to put one there, and then we're going to make a bow using our pale papaya open weave ribbon. So just make a really simple bow. Pull your loops however big you want them to be. I don't want like a crazy big bow. I want it to be a small bow. So just your loops and then pull it tight. And then trim your tails. I'm going to put a glue dot. I'm going to put 2 glue dots, just because it will make sure it sticks. Okay, so we have that one. So there's card number 2, and then oh, I did use it. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I did use ribbon on the first one. Whew. All right, you guys. That was card number 2, which was a portrait one. And then when you put your picture in, I'm just going to take it out of the sample. Get it in there. Trying to grab the piece of paper in there. All right, come on. There we go. Your picture. We'll just pretend this is a picture. Your picture will just slide in there. So this one is top loading. That's the one that we just did, and that was the sample. So I'll just leave, we'll just leave it like that. I'll show pictures of with and without the inserts on there. But there you have it. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Carol. That is how you can use your window sheets. Between your window sheets, your rectangle dies, any other dies, if you wanted to dress it up a little bit, kind of like the second one I did, I put a frame on top of the frame and then made this one top loading. And then I also glued this directly to the card base, as opposed to the first one where I used dimensionals to help pop that up a little bit. But this is a perfect way in order to combine 2 of your favorites. With your handmade cards, as well as sending pictures to your loved ones. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's demonstration. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Frida. Yes, great. So think about this, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's a man that's watching. You know, if you have cards and pictures that you want to send out to your loved ones, you can basically take the bones of what you learned today and duplicate it to what you want to send out. You know, whether it's the birth of a new baby, maybe even a wedding photo, Christmas pictures, graduation. There's just so many possibilities that you can do. And I'm just so glad that you guys spent your Sunday afternoon with me, and that you're learning that there's so much more you can do with all of your products. And yeah. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoons. And if you want to join me Wednesday night, we will be doing page 2. I'm live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for scrapbook page layouts. So we'll be doing page 2 of layout number 10. So if you want to join me, I'll be back Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So have a great evening. Bye-bye.